There's nothing finer to me than to be on the water when that sun comes peeking in under that Carolina sky in the Lord's creation, ripping some lips on my favorite waters, taking blind hog adventures with some of my best buddies.
All right, welcome back to Season 2 of the Blind Hog Adventures Inshore Saltwater Podcast. Once again, I'm Cory Furlow, one of your hosts, and alongside me up here, Captain Gaston King is making his appearance on Season 2. What do you think, Gaston? Ready for Season 2, buddy?
I am ready for Season 2. I tell you, we're used to doing this thing sitting on an old bench and kind of hardwood, and I'm up here leaning back in recliner tonight, and it feels kind of good. We've stepped up in the world for Season 2, y'all.
Well, in all fairness, it's dark, getting ready to do time change, and we had to come somewhere where we could, kind of come in the evening, kind of get this on. But man, I'm excited. Season 1 was amazing. We had all kind of great guests. We had great response. We expanded to places that I never ever thought that we would. And we're going to share some of that with you guys in a few minutes. We were able to make some partnerships and friendships and sponsorships that we were able to come out of last year to expand some things this year. Man, we traveled around and we did some benefit tournaments as the podcast went down and went with Take a Warrior Fishing down in Beaufort. You've hosted veterans. I mean, it's been amazing, man. We're able to do the Todd Willis this year. We're able to, do some stuff with ECIC. I'm going to be going down this Saturday and doing one with the Neuse River Fishers of Men. And that one's going to be in the memory of Todd Willis. So, man, it's been a wild year. And I think Gaston and I both mostly want to say thank you to you, the listener, for making this possible, for listening, for sharing, for downloading, just all the above, man. I mean,
well, we said this from probably the first episode last year. We're just two country bumpkins that decided to come together, talk fishing, and never imagined what would have come out of this. And we're here to give back to the community. We're here to highlight small businesses, local folks, the people that help communities go. And I think that's the cool thing. Giving back to the veterans, we've done a lot of that, and I think that's great. But it goes further than that. Kids, giving to the kids that need help. It's honestly been a blessing what we've done, and I think I can speak for both of us. We've had a blast doing it. We never thought we'd be where we are now. Cory will talk on that in a little bit. We've got some numbers that will blow your mind. They blew mine. I think they blew his. So it's been incredible.
It has, man. And as you were talking about kids, I didn't even mention that, you've been a part of a Make-A-Wish trip. I was able to do some things with the local CTO chapter out of Plymouth and out of Pungo. So we were able to get some rods donated, rods and reels, full rod and reel setup. We had over 30 rod and reel setup donated to local kids. If you want to, you had recently, right in the last couple of weeks, you've had a young man come and his family out of West Virginia to fish with you.
Yep.
And it's just been amazing the way God has used us doofuses and the people that have just come alongside of us, and the friendships and partnerships. And I think people see that we're real. We have all our flaws and everything else going along with us, but we're just two guys that love to fish. We love our area of Eastern North Carolina, and we want to highlight it. And that's the whole purpose of Season 2. We will not forget our roots. We are not too big for our britches, and we are right back into Season 2 with some extraordinary people coming on as well. A couple of people are actually going to make a re-show this season because they've had some major things coming to their lives. We're going to hold off giving you who those people are until they come up, and we try to put them strategically throughout the year as either their product or what they're doing or whatever's going on kind of fits. So, for example, we had Nathan drop in October, and that's one of the best times as you start to get into the cold season, right? We're starting to get people want oysters, and so we try to do that strategically. We did Bud's, right? Bud was there around the time that it was time to fish for stripers and fish for trout. We did Michael's as he was taking a new chapter with Yeti and groups like that. With Sam Jones. You just look at all of these different ones that we were able to. We did Tim and Lambert's that were doing right before their season started with ECIC. We were able to work with Brian Saunders that was able to do the Neuse River Fishers of Men, and all these changes were happening with Cold Stuns and and all these different things, but we were able to get this information out to the populace that was going to be involved. And it was a way that we were able to do it because we literally went and sat around a picnic table beside the river and were able to do this. And it wasn't the fanciest, it wasn't those things, and we have the equipment for it. But it was
But that's who we are.
That's who we are. We're just simple guys that have a good message, and it resonates. And we just want to say thank you most of all.
Absolutely.
And so as we kind of get ready to give you guys some insight, man, this year we did talk about, and I do want to really bring this up, is this year we were able to coordinate and work with some of the people that are going to make this year even better. And we had some amazing sponsors. Some of these people were actually guests last year, and they saw the benefit of it. But I guess we need to kind of tell them why they came on as sponsors and why we needed to kind of grow some. And so what do you think? Maybe go over some numbers?
Yeah. Why don't you hit the fans with a little stat?
So we were curious if we were even making an impact. And so on the backside of these programs the reason the sponsors came on is because we needed some help, honestly, financially, because this stuff, it isn't free, right? It does cost, and we come out of pocket. And but as we started looking and the way it was growing, before we did it all as give backs, right? As gift cards and giveaways and stuff like that. And Gaston and I just wanted to do this as a service to our area, to the community, and to Eastern North Carolina, and we're still doing that. But because of the need to grow, we just honestly couldn't do it by ourselves. And so we went to some of these folks, and we're going to talk about them in a second, and we're like, hey, would you be willing to grow with us, right? And the reason we were able to do that is because of you guys. And so if you don't know, and if you're new listening to us, Gaston has a vast network of people that he's associated with through his work, right? You're modest about it, but through his work, he's able to meet a lot of people. And he, if you don't know, Gaston is a charter captain. He's down and runs most of his trips out of the Belhaven area, but has people come from all over. And so with me, I'm the coach for North Carolina for Salt Strong, which is a 65,000 member. It's basically a saltwater fishing club where you come to learn, and it's an online community and all kind of things like that. And it was recently just bought out by Sportsman's Guide, and the company that owns that, and that's a 320,000 person club. So basically, it was morphed into a family. So this past year, we were blessed enough to actually, if you go and look, it shows you on the backside of a map of everywhere that your podcast has been watched or your videos. And through the Blind Hog Adventures podcast and the videos, we actually reached all 50 states last year. All 50 states watched at least, I can't tell you how many episodes in each one, but each one at least had one view of that, plus the United Kingdom had multiples, which is crazy.
Cory tells me this, we hit all 50 states, the UK, and it's like, I'm from Elm City, North Carolina.
I'm from the big city of Crestwell.
Between the two of us in our hometowns, we have one stoplight, if that tells you anything. And we've hit all 50 states. And not that, but the UK.
The UK. And from what I understand, that was actually service members that had been here in Eastern North Carolina and had gone over there, had been deployed, and were there in the UK and were actually listening to a taste of back home. And so that is really cool. And so then because of you guys last year, because of it spreading and going all over, the main chunk of where we have listenership is from Texas all the way through the Gulf, and then it comes up through the East Coast and goes up into Delaware, and then kind of jumps over into Pennsylvania. And a lot of that has to do with Salt Strong, because all that kind of goes through there. But last year we had over 55,000 downloads. And then when it comes to impressions, which is basically when someone clicks, views, whatever, we had over 640,000 impressions, which is totally nuts. And over on the videos and the other things, over 5,000 hours of listening and watching on the videos and listening to the podcast, which is, I can't fathom it. Like when I took a screenshot, I've got the stuff, and I'm like, I can't believe it. Like it doesn't seem real, but it's wild, man. I know it blew your mind when I told you.
At the end of the day, I never would have imagined that. I figured we might reach a couple states. People traveling.
Yeah. Maybe Virginia. Maybe South Carolina.
Huge thanks and shout out to everybody listening. Because like I say, we're nobodies. And to know that we reached that many people, and even if you've only listened one time, it's incredible to know that we have that support. I never in a million years would have imagined that.
I wouldn't either. And honestly, it's one of those things we did, like I said, because we love fishing. And so, like I said, with us growing, we went to some of our partners, some of our friends, and said, hey, you guys have been on, you've seen the benefit, you've seen the backside, passing along some of these things. Will you come alongside of us and help us grow? And so I want to really, these are companies we use. These are people we know and love. These are our people we do business with. And so it's not like, we can't stand and vouch for every one of these people. So I do want to introduce you to them now. So this year coming on as our corporate sponsors, and will be mentioned on every episode. Of course, we have Austin, Hall, and Olivia. That's how we actually got together the first time.
Well, I was going to say we couldn't have done it without some of these.
Some of these, honestly,
and they are number one.
And they are number one on that list. And I say that because that's how Gaston and I met. This is honestly, if you go back through the whole premise of how this even got started and how friendships got going, it goes right on back, and that's Austin and Olivia and the whole crew at Redline Rigs, the pro staff, the way we've been able to grow and just become friends and family. And I mean,
Can I stop you there for a second?
Brother, go ahead.
Are you officially pro staff for Redline?
I am.
Because I know y'all were going back and forth at one time. I had fun with that one.
I did.
I'm glad to know do you have a picture on the website?
I actually, thank you, Austin.
Good job, Austin.
Yeah, thank you, Austin, for finally including me, because I think we did maybe 200 selfless plugs before it took to get a picture on the site. And I think it was Olivia that actually pushed him to do it after the show there in Raleigh. But it was, yes, my ugly mug is officially on the Redline Rigs site. And they're growing like crazy. And, and right now they've been having some supply things going on with tariffs and stuff like that. But, they're growing through that, and it's just amazing to see that. I got Trout and Son. Both of us are rocking Key West 230 BRs now, and we've done that dealing with Trout and Son over there in Edenton, North Carolina. And I've dealt with them back all the way through my Carolina skiff, and then the blue Key West, and now I've got the black Bay, and then of course you've got your rocking Bay boat, and they have been amazing to work with. I mean, they get us in and out with our services. It doesn't miss you any time on the water with your charters. I've been able to deal with them, I mean, just so well. And I highly recommend it. Your boat won't sit on the lot for 6 weeks waiting for an oil change or a lower unit or whatever you got to do. They can do it all. I mean, repowers, but they can also do your new boat stuff too. I mean, kayaks, apparel, whatever, man, they've got it. And like I said, as long as I buy a boat and they're open, that's where I'll be buying boats from, just for the service aspect of it and a quality product. Nautical Perfections, man, Andrew, the dude is amazing. If you own a boat or any kind of vessel in eastern North Carolina, the dude is amazing at what he does. He's there out of Chocowinity, around that area. You can carry it there to the farm and drop it off, and he'll do it. He'll come to your place. He'll do it on the boat lifts. Man, I just had him actually come out in ceramic, the black one, and I got done. We fished a Todd Willis a couple weeks ago. I literally pulled it up, come home, sprayed it off with the water hose, and it looked brand new off the showroom floor. So that was amazing. Lakeside Realty, Jean Furlow, she is licensed in all of North Carolina for all your real estate needs. If you're looking for a place on the water, if you're looking for hunting land, she's got contacts. If you're looking for, and there's people out there that just because they may not be their specialty, they have the contacts, they have the know. I mean, honestly, me and Gaston's dream is to honestly own property down on the river in Belhaven. And hey, it's great to know a realtor that can have that eye out looking and has her ear and beating the pavement to find out. And the network is vast and has been very successful. And hey, she's my mom, honestly, and so I know I can trust her, and so I can vouch for her on that one, I promise. And if you've got property, if you want to sell it and you're serious about it, you contact her. And she will do that. And all these contacts will be in the show notes. So this year we had a couple of new ones come on. Of course, we had Michael Letchworth come on last year, and Larkin. But we actually had Sam Jones. You've seen Gaston and I and Rockin' the Spices and Rockin' all those things, and the name is synonymous. But Michael and them's had amazing success. I think they got voted number 2 out of all the barbecue restaurants.
I just saw that today. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, that is amazing. And the whole hog, I think they got number, I don't know if it's in the country or how it was, but it was number 2 in the publication, which is amazing. But Sam Jones has come on board. They have locations in Raleigh and in Winterville on the Greenville line there by Sam's Club. And so, that's just it's awesome for them to come along. You have Fox Hollow. Fox Hollow from anything, which is Michael and Larkin. They've come on board, and of course they've got their baits and lures. They've got their apparel. They've got their, of course, their seasonings and stuff like that. But they're big in the community. They've got their hand in a lot of different things. They're tied in with who? Help me out, guys. I know they're tied in with Yeti Turtle Box,
Costa, Turtle Box,
Sodium Fishing down in Florida. He's actually gone and done a couple trips down with CA and can call him a buddy now.
Z-Man guys.
Yeah, I mean it's wild. ICAST Larkin actually got Bill Dance's was it a badge?
That's who got me in fishing was Bill Dance. So that would have been a dream for me. So that was cool for him.
So yeah, they actually met getting ready to go down the escalator, and Bill Dance gave him his badge, kind of the last day of the show, and it's just wild, man, to see the impact here in Eastern North Carolina and how it's going all around. But definitely you can hit them up, you can check them out for all of your, they can ship right to you. You can order right there. They've got custom mirror lures, baits. Of course, the spices and all, man. I'm gonna tell you, we use that salt of the earth and the general spices, and then you've got all of that stuff. Of course, you can order it and it'll be shipped right to your home. But I've given it as gifts. I've done all that stuff, and we use their baits all the time. So, been amazing, man. Randy down there at Soundside Sporting Goods and the crew in Columbia. If you have not checked this place out, this is where basically if you go down, if you need anything, if you need apparel, they've got a whole boutique for the ladies and guys. They have a ton of local captain stuff in there. You can go and get that apparel. They have got anything you want for saltwater fishing, freshwater fishing. They've got guns. They've got stuff for duck hunting. They've got stuff in there for trapping. They got stuff. If they don't have it, they can get it for you. But man, he said he wanted to be the largest trout store anywhere in Eastern North Carolina. And I'm telling you, when you go in there, if there's not a bait that a trout will bite, there's no bait for it. And it's local guys. It's not just, they've got all the big name brands, but it's local guys, man. That's where I was introduced to like Kenny's Customs, the Top Boarders, where I was introduced, and all of our buddies are in there now. He was like, yeah, bring them on. If they're North Carolina, the Outer Banks Lure Company, if you look at Backwater, you look at Redline, you look at any of these, all of them are in there. And he was one of the first ones to say, yeah, any MHC, all of those are like, yeah, bring them on. He's like, if they're local, I want to support them. That's the kind of people we want to do business with. Go by there. If you see Randy, tell the crew they're doing a great job. Stop in. They got anything you'll need. Salt marsh coolers. I mean, all that kind of stuff is there. And I guarantee you might even get you a little discount. If you are a captain and you go there, I promise you'll get you a discount, and it'll be well worth your time. I've bought rods, reels, all kind of stuff from there. Backwater Bandits. We all know, man, them dudes are killing it.
On fire.
They are on fire. And right now, this time of the year, you can't beat the baits for what they're doing. As it starts to get a little colder, they have now come in a partnership with Mirror Lure,
yes.
which is just wild. A small East Carolina company that has caught fire, and now they come alongside of Mirror Lure, and they're being made and produced down in Costa Rica, part of them. They got the light series that have come out now, the Buttercup lights. I know they got some things in the works that I'm not privy to announce yet, but just know there are some other things in the works, and you might even hear about them on here first. Just keep your ear to the ground. You might hear it pretty soon, actually, that they're going to announce that are kind of coming out, some things you need to be looking for. But they come alongside. They're going to actually give us some prize packs to give away to you guys. And they were a great representative last year. They hooked us up with that kind of stuff to give away. And it was just amazing. Actually, Fox Holla and Sam Jones are going to actually donate things to us to give away to our listeners. So that's all going to be mailed right to you. And some of this stuff's actually going to be coming up really soon in time for Christmas. So you may want to start listening up at this one and the next one, because some of this stuff's going to be able to you can use it yourself or give it as a gift. The other one, man, I'm telling you, I used to have a different boat insurance, and actually Matt Little with Farm Bureau Insurance. He's licensed throughout the state. He blew every price I had away, and I can tell you, he's local. I don't have to worry about going through a call center. I don't have to do none of that kind of stuff. I literally can text him, call him, whatever. Hey, buddy, this is what I've got. And my dude, he's based out of Plymouth, and right there in the Roper office, but he's also really big in the CTO. He is the head of the CTO group there. I think it's the the Roanoke River Delta CTO, and there's kids there from all over. And the dude is just on it, man. He's involved with kids sports and youth fishing and all this kind of stuff, and that's the kind of people that I want to support, and that he's been great to support us. And so you're going to hear them come on here this year and testimony from some of the kids and that kind of stuff. It's actually a Christian-based organization, so if you're looking to get your youth involved with CTO, you can contact Matt. If you need insurance and you want a good dude that's going to tell you the truth, tell you what he can and can't do, give you the bottom price he can give you, but it's great quality. It covered more, and it was less money than I had gone to other places. And it was not less coverage, it was more coverage. So I can tell you, I had it on the blue boat, and I've got it on this boat. He's actually got my house and my cars. So I'm telling you, I switched everything to him, because honestly, who you deal with is a lot of it. And I'd had to call Indiana or somewhere crazy, some call center that when I'm on the side of the road, I want somebody that could help me and send somebody to me. And he's walked me through those problems also. So he's there, man. And then last but not least, we got our dude Nathan, man. Belhaven Oyster Company has come on. If you have not tried farm-raised oysters, you are missing something out. He is raised right there in Belhaven, of course, via the name. But you're talking top quality stuff. And I mean, the dude works hard. He works in the community. He's a paramedic there in Beaufort County. And then when he's not doing that, my dude is on the water raising oysters. He came, started and had failure. If you listen to the October podcast, started and had total failure, and they didn't give up and kept on going. And this is where they are now. But he's come on, man. They're sitting in fancy restaurants in Raleigh. What's the fancy one that you were talking about?
42nd Street.
42nd Street there. He's all the way there. If you come all the way down to Pirates Cove, he's there. In those restaurants, he's in between in Belhaven. I mean, he's shipping. You can go pick him up anytime. You can call him and go pick him up any time of the year. You don't have to wait until those R months. That's right. You don't eat them in the R months. Is that right, or you do?
Well, farm raised, you can eat them anytime.
12 months. So you ain't got to worry about. See, you got to worry about me. Am I supposed to eat them this month or not? You can eat them anytime.
Call Nathan. You can eat them anytime.
Anytime you want, and he's basically picking them fresh every day. So you don't have to worry about, hey, where they come from. Are they taken care of? Yes, all of that is. So all these contacts will be in the show notes. But man, these kind of things make a big difference. And when you call them, can you let them know you heard about it on the podcast? Can you say, hey man, I did hear about this on the podcast. We want to support you because you have great products, but just want you to know this is where we heard about it at. And then that way they can know that, by them coming and helping us and it expanding all around, they can be helped as well. I mean, 'cause this is what it's about. This is the whole reason we started the podcast, was we wanted to make sure that, hey, we gave people in the area some free advertising, right? Some way that they could get out here and make a name and do those things. And so, we've been very blessed, and we just want to say thank you to them as they help us expand. We'll be on about 14 services now. It's crazy how it's going, man, and just the impact that this is having.
Well, you mentioned it earlier too, and we're not going to change anything. We're, at the end of the day, we're going to be the same people, highlighting the same local folks. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, we couldn't do it without all the people you just mentioned, and we can't do it without the listeners. So everybody comes together and makes something happen, and so far successful.
It's been wildly successful, and like I said, it's because I think we keep it simple, we keep it real, and we highlight the people and the products, and that they sell themselves, right? It's not about us. It's never been about us, and it never will be, and that's the whole thing, right? And I think when you have that heart of Eastern North Carolina that it does, people come from all over. We have a destination sitting right here in our backyard, that is worldwide, that people come here, to catch a redfish, to catch a big bull drum, to catch trout, to do these things. If North Carolina would get their act right, to come and catch flounder, because they're everywhere. These things are here, and, to get fresh North Carolina seafood, because we have the beauty of nature here. We have some of the best barbecue in the world. We have, detailers and people that have craftsmanship and people that can help cover whatever you have. And people are moving here from all over, so these people these are the behind the scenes people that make Eastern North Carolina home and make it work. So it's been a blessing to highlight them. And if you haven't heard some of these people on here, you're probably going to hear some of it with different aspects that they're keyed in and the way they're making an impact in the state here in Eastern North Carolina. We got some surprises that we're not going to tell you, because honestly, it's on the teeter-totter if it's going to happen, but if it does, it's totally wild. And it looks like it's going to on a couple of these. That we're blown away that the opportunity is even here, and that the people are entertaining it and going to probably come and hang out with us, do a little fishing and do a little talking, and hopefully we can get together and learn that way. But it's just amazing what's going on, man, and how God's using this. Like I said, everything you hear on here will be family friendly. You never have to worry about your kids hearing cussing and negativity and that kind of thing. We want you all to be uplifted. You can listen in the car on the way to church. You can play it at church if you want to, or hey, but the thing is, you can learn something. That's the biggest thing, and you can get involved as much as you want to in the various places. So, man, I know as we now are going to do a little transition. We've talked about this, what's going on, how you guys have made it happen. Let's talk about some fishing. Let's get into why people listen to us, and that's they want to learn something about fishing. And so I know you have been running charters like crazy lately. So we're getting ready to hit November. This is at the very end of October. We're recording this. We're going to play this in November. But we're also, give us an idea, man. What's been going on in the water? What are you seeing?
Trout are everywhere. I mean, literally. Throw whatever, anything.
Okay.
Right now, it does not matter.
Okay.
It does not seem to matter. I think you can throw a red rag out there and catch a trout.
Really? Michael's going to be good luck this year.
Yeah. It really, well, I mean, if you want to talk about water temperature first, I think that's the biggest key. We're sitting at 60 degrees right now.
Okay, because when I went out down, I was down around Vandermeer 2 weeks ago, and it was around that 63, 64. So in a matter of 2 weeks, we dropped 4 degrees. Okay.
So and we've set around 60 for a little bit. I saw as low as 58 today. But I've always said when it hits 65, that really the bigger fish start pushing in. And within the last 3 weeks, I mean, we went from we were catching nice fish with a lot of dinks to now we're catching a lot of nice fish. I mean, we're talking good numbers, big fish, 20 pluses. Caught a nice right at 26 incher today.
So what you may not know is during these podcasts, a lot of times we've been very blessed and do giveaways. We've had people donate things and we do giveaways. We've actually going to have on our Instagram, on the Blind Hog Adventures Instagram page, I'm getting ready to actually list the giveaway that's going to actually start, but you'll have to register there. But Salt Marsh has come on board, MHC has come on board, Salt Strong's come on board, Backwater Bandits has come on board. I mean, there's going to be coolers, baits, apparel. Dude, when I tell you this is going to be a sweet giveaway, it's a sweet giveaway. But they've come on board with that kind of stuff. So this kind of things happen. But you actually gave away a trip last year.
I want to say it was on the first episode.
It was the very first episode.
Some things happened, which we had the cold stun, trout kill, whatever they want to call that. So it got pushed back, but they actually went with me today, and we didn't count fish, but I figured we ended between 40 and 50 trout. And we were pretty much done with the day, and the last fish we caught was 25 and 3/4 inches.
Dang.
And to me, now there's no better way to end the day.
Dag right.
But we've been seeing that. Now we haven't had any quite that big, but we've been catching plenty of 20 plus trout. Tons of eater size. I mean, 16 to 19, 20 inches, perfect eating size fish. We're catching them. Obviously, popping corks, redline rigs, voodoo shrimp, twitch baits, mirror lures, soft plastics, really anything you want to throw right now. So if you've been thinking about going fishing, just go.
Yeah.
Don't even look at the weather. If it's going to rain, bring a rain jacket. Don't worry about the wind. Just get on the boat. That's how hot it is right now.
Good deal.
And I expect that to keep going for the next couple weeks.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't even say this, topwater. I mean, they're absolutely killing topwater too.
I have actually became a topwater fiend. It is one of those things that I have come to love. And you know what it took? Going down and seeing Randy and getting the right daggone rod. Because I'm going to tell you, if you don't have the right rod with the right action and all that kind of stuff, it's hard to throw, man. And I never really threw a lot of topwater. But I have got now where I've gone with you and we got on a fire bite, not really long ago. and had a blast. And man, I'm gonna tell you what, every morning I'm gonna throw topwater now.
Well, you know, I say there's two different things with topwater. They're either smoking it
Or they hate it.
and never miss it, or they come up and peck it, trying to kill it, whatever it is, and that will drive you crazy.
Oh my gosh.
But when they're smoking and they've got both sets of treble hooks in their mouth, that's when you know it's good.
Oh,
When you throw it out there and it sounds like somebody's throwing a bowling ball in the water, that's when you know you got a good one.
Yeah, when you can turn your head and still hear it hit, that's pretty wild, dude. That's pretty wild.
So yeah, I mean, my advice would be just go fishing.
That's
I mean,
it, man.
really.
That
You
is
know,
it.
and we've talked about so many things. You know, the fish are in the creeks, pretty far back in the creeks.
There's a little tip if you didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, we've always, you know, I like to be honest with people. I'm a trout fisherman, but I'm not somebody that's trying to hold back information. The fish, I think, are a little ahead of schedule right now.
I believe they're at least a couple weeks ahead of schedule.
I mean, with that water temp 60, don't be scared to hit some of those spots a little further back. But I mean, you know, I told the guys today, I said they're from the back all the way to the mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, really, they're everywhere right now. They really are. They're moving, and that's going to get better for the next couple weeks. And then they'll get into that wintertime pattern after that. But yeah, I mean, we've got another, I don't know, 8 maybe 10 degrees where they are just going to be
moving all
and
around,
fired
chasing
up.
the bait. And
There's bait
feeding.
everywhere. I mean, mullet, menhaden everywhere. We didn't get the shrimp in our creek like we normally do, but I mean, oh my gosh, we saw pods and pods of menhaden today, and I mean mullet, and I'm not talking about monster mullet. I'm talking about mullet that a trout would
3-4 inch mullet. That's right.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you, I was down there. Like I said, we fished Batad Willis, which goes out of Vandermeer, and we went all the way through the ICW to the Pamlico. And I can tell you the same type thing happened there, right? So definitely the fish are there, but I will tell you, and I'll tell my Salt Strong crew, right now I'm advising them to basically take a creek and cut it in thirds and basically hit that middle third, and then that's where I'd say right now the majority are kind of sitting, and you may find a little bit to the mouth and you find a little bit further back. But I would take some of those creeks like that are coming off the big bodies. Look for your ledges, look for your points, look for your bait, and definitely on your bluebird skies, dig a little deeper, and on the cloud cover, you know, they'll move a little higher up. I mean,
you know, we fished it all. I mean, this whole week I fished, and that's what you hear, a little sniffle in my nose. I fished 25-mile-an-hour winds with rain and drizzle, and it's been nasty. But we've also caught them on bluebird skies. I think that's great advice to take a creek and put it into thirds and start in the middle. Let the fish talk to you.
Yeah.
You know, I preach this on charters. You know, I think so many people want to cast to the bank, but that most of the time that trout's going to run that ledge, that point, that little cove. You know, I'm not saying they don't get on the bank. They obviously do that at times when the bait's chasing the bank. But yeah, I mean those little ledges and drop offs, if you can find them, they're getting stacked up pretty tight right now.
I mean, we went down, and I'm a throw. A big old bone here. Trey Thompson took me under his wing a little bit because I had never really fished down there except for one time last year. But he kind of gave me some pointers, and if you're looking, actually Captain Trey with he's amazing. But Trey Thompson, look him up.
Thump
Chaser. I was drawing a blank, and I knew it as good as my name. But Thump Chaser Charter, she's on social media. But if you're looking for somebody, you will not find a more humble dude and a better captain out there. But he took me under his wing a little bit, and he went one section of the creek, and I went to another section. We kind of tag teamed for the morning and then broke off. But man, I took these same principles and went all the way down there to the southern Pamlico, right on toward the noose, and the same principles are working. So it ain't like you can't take them. That's the whole thing with Salt Strong and different things, and that's what I'm saying. Networks and learning never gets old, right? Talking to people, you see patterns, but you still have to know how to work the pattern. And that's where, you know, take some of those tips like this and apply it. So if you've been kind of striking out and wondering why aren't I catching fish, you need to be where the fish are. And that's the biggest thing, right? Water temperature, look at that kind of stuff, and that's going to show you where they're going, and they're only going to go further back. If you're going the other way, you might need to turn around, and that might put you more toward the fish.
Well, you bring up a point there. I don't care how old you are, how long you've been fishing. Learn something every day you're on the water.
Exactly.
And you can learn something by striking out or failing.
Oh, yeah.
If you go somewhere exploring and say, well, they might be here, if they're not there, you learn something.
That's right.
Take a note of that. Cory mentioned another charter captain. You know, a little birdie has told me some information that Mr. Cory Furlow may be very, very close to starting his own charter business.
About 3-4 weeks away. I'm down to the very end of it. I should have been done with it a long time ago. Got really good into it and had some things in life happen, and that happens, right? I mean, those things come along, but didn't give up on it. And so by the end of November, I should be in full swing. I should be full swinging and rolling along. And it's not something I'll be doing, of course, full time. I work with veterans full time, and I love what I do. But of course, I love teaching and doing all that stuff too. And it's just one more tool in the tool shed, man, and one more way to help people out, and another way to give back. And that's kind of what I'll do. So I'll book some, but I'll also do some buddy trips. I'll also do give them back to the veterans and kids and stuff like that, and just explore. See what
you
God
said
has,
something there. Teaching.
Yeah.
I think that's the coolest thing. You know, I got into all this by taking veterans before I had a captain. That's actually how I got my captain's license. I may have mentioned that.
And we're part of Take a Warrior Fishing. We are always involved with that group, which is amazing. Dwayne and those guys.
But you know, I set my trips up to teach. I take a lot of people that really don't know much about speckled trout. I get lucky from time to time and get real fishermen, but a lot of my trips are to teach and explain what we're doing, why we're doing it. And my biggest thing, I love to get kids on the boat because that's the next generation.
Oh yeah.
You know, so to teach them, but teaching adults too. I mean, you know, I love people to ask questions. I think that's the biggest thing, and Cory's very much like me in that respect. Is, you know, we're here to teach and help.
Oh yeah.
And Cory will be fantastic at it.
Well, I appreciate that, but I've had good teachers and good people around me. The people that have come alongside and took their time when I've asked a lot of stupid questions or didn't know, and they didn't tell me where to go. I'm gonna tell you what the biggest thing that helped me grow the most. They never told me go fish here. They always said, this is what I'm seeing. This is where I'm seeing. They'll give me maybe a body of water. They'll give me, you know, hey, check the creeks off of such and such. But it was never go fish this point, because they'd be setting me up for failure if the fish had moved, right? Your favorite line is what? The fish have tails, they're going to move, right? I mean, so you've got to bounce around. You got to see, right? And that's something I've learned from everybody that I've come across, with everyone that's come on this podcast. We've had some amazing captains come on this podcast. We've had people come and talk, and every time, right, I'm going to ask questions. We're going to talk about fishing and life, and I'm gonna tell you, man, if you're not learning, you're moving backwards, and that's just the way it is. But that's what we hope you guys, if you want more knowledge. Honestly, a lot of these people that have been on this past year, we did a lot of stuff that were actually on the month they were there. So we kind of we gave good knowledge, and we also gave some teaching about the month that the podcast was given, that certain episode. So go back if you have questions, right? Go back and see that stuff and listen to it, and you'd be surprised. Like I always say, if you take an episode, you may not get everything out of it. You may say, I'm going to listen for 5 minutes, and that's not pertaining to me. If you take one thing away from anything you do, from a day on the water, from a job you do, from speaking with someone, from learning, from going on a charter trip, whatever, if you take away one thing, you've left better than you got there. And that's the way I try to approach everything with it. And I don't always get it right. I will not tell you I do. But that's the mindset I try to take with it, because I'm like anybody else. I can get negative, right? Being a veteran, I deal with a lot of things that other veterans deal with, right? Whether it's PTSD, anxiety, depression, that's some of the stuff that, honestly, just being real with y'all, y'all are part of the family. You helped make us. That's some of the stuff I was dealing with this year, with different life events that came up, right? Whether it was my dad's sickness and possible cancer coming back, or stuff going on at home, or whatever. And so things I was going through personally behind the scenes. And so, you know, you just got to keep bouncing back and learning. And that's the thing about, the biggest thing is get you a good network of people and good friends around you. And I have found that on the water, man. That is one thing you always say, people on the river, what?
People on the river are happy to give.
And I have found that more than anything. And honestly, my best friends now in life have probably come from around the water.
You share a common interest for one.
Oh, yeah.
And then it just expands from that, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, then you have personal conversations and you get close with folks. And But yeah, I'd like to say we're a huge community together.
I agree, and we're better together. And then you find the beauty of nature and of God and all these kind of things there. So a lot of times you find good people that'll pray for you and help lift you up and that kind of thing. So I mean, it's I ain't had too many bad experiences on there anyway. There's always a couple bad apples, but for the most part, it's been pretty good, man. It's been pretty good. So what else you seen, buddy? You know, I know you've been seeing a ton of fish. You know, you've been running some trips. You actually had a person come out of West Virginia. You want to talk about that? Your trip you were able to kind of do with the young man?
Yeah, that was through childswish.org. My dad actually set that up. He's been hearing the advertisements on John Boy and Billy. So he actually sent a handwritten note to John Boy, who read the note and sent it to Bridget O'Donoghue, who was in Wisconsin. And she handles childswish.org and sets up all kinds of trips. This was a phenomenal family. Had a great time on the water. I won't go into too many details. We caught a ton of fish, had an absolute blast. He left me in Belhaven, went to Georgia on a bear hunt, killed a bear, which he had never done. Never caught a speckled trout, never killed a bear. They got done with that, had enough time, went quail hunting, and he killed quail. So, I mean, the kid had, if it was me saying it, a week of a lifetime.
Yeah.
I don't think they would disagree. I talked to Bridget after they got home and everything was settled down, and they said it was amazing, you know, how much he opened up and enjoyed it and talked about meeting all these people, good people, and having fun. So, you know, there's so many organizations. You don't have to choose anything that we've said, whether it be Take a Warrior, Child's Wish. Find something that fits you. You know, my thought is we're fishermen. You have to have a little bit in life to have boats and all
That's
these
right.
baits and things.
That's right.
If you have that, you have enough to give your time,
That's
if
right.
nothing else. You have the rods, the boat, the tackle. Give your time. I mean, if it's 4 or 5 hours, you know, just one little. You never know who you may touch, what may happen.
You said these folks were from West Virginia,
West-
living in a holler in West Virginia.
Yeah, lives
so
in a holler in West Virginia.
They were not. They were not. You know, sitting on the coast somewhere.
Yeah.
Right. This is something they.
Yeah.
You know, I'll guarantee you, their eyes lit up when they started coming down here and seeing this
Yeah.
stuff.
Well, I mean, you know, it sounds like they live in a pretty cool place.
Yeah.
But they even said, you know, Belhaven was awesome. Just, you know, to be in that part of the country. I mean, you're surrounded by water.
Yeah.
So yeah, they had a great time. They enjoyed the visit. Everything went great. I enjoyed having them on the boat, and to me, that's really what it's all. That's the reason I'm doing this.
Yeah. That's the whole reason I'm getting mine. And
Yeah.
you know, it's never been about making money. It's never been about, you know, a name or been any of that kind of stuff. I mean, that's how Blind Hog started. If you've never heard the story, my dad got lung cancer, and honestly, I wanted a way to remember things with him, you know, because we did not know how long we had. He's now on his fourth bout of lung cancer. Luckily, we've been blessed that it's not a very fast metastasizing, so they've been able to go in and knock it out through radiation, removing part of a lung, all that kind of stuff. Me and Gaston actually did an episode with our dads last year, which is very cool, and we're probably going to do another one of those to kind of catch back up because they're both characters.
Yeah, we might could. Yeah, we could get several episodes out.
Yeah,
of
just out of
talking.
one. But they were raised kind of the same way and backwoods country and that kind of stuff. But anyway, and that's actually been one of our most listened to and one of our most responded to because they're just likable dudes. They're just regular old country guys that like us. And so, you know, that's the thing. If you've got this ability, and most of us do, give something back, right? I had a dude named Sam with Take a Warrior. That's how we got tied. That's how I got tied in with that. Was I was in between boats. I was honestly in a down slump, and somebody offered it to me. I went and met him. He met me in Bath. He was from Greenville. Had never met the dude. He had like a bass tracker type boat. We went out, caught some trout, hit off a friendship, and I was like, I want to give back when I get my boat. And when I got to Blue Key West, I was like, heck yeah. And then we ended up in Beaufort down there with the Take a Warrior. And now, guess what? They're going to actually do a tournament in Belhaven this year, right? Because we kind of got involved with that and said, hey, you need to get involved with Tim. Tim Askew with ECIC, and so Tim's going to help put that on. So, I mean, you look, man, it's amazing.
Little connections everywhere.
Everywhere.
And you don't realize that at the time, but there's so much that comes back to us and we are able to give to other people.
That's the only reason that this whole talking about we gave the numbers, because we wanted you guys to know that every connection matters, and you never know what connection today is going to matter 2 years from now or a year from now or whatever. It's the same way. I'll give a little tiny tidbit. When Gaston caught his 30-inch fish and posted it, he never knew that it was going to spark a conversation with another person, that was going to spark conversation with another person that could lead to people coming on the podcast. And you never ever know, right? I mean, you just never know what something is going to take place until you do it. And you know, it's amazing.
Small things lead to big things.
They do.
And you never know.
That's right. So, well, brother, we've talked about, you know, who we've got helping us, what we've done, what the listenership has done for us, how we're able to give back to them, who's come alongside to help us expand this year. We've got an awesome lineup. We're actually going to kind of call this our heavy hitters lineup this year, because we have got some major players coming on, and some of the same backwoods guys, but these guys have made new steps and new strides because they've had little relationships that turn into big relationships. They're always going to have a North Carolina connection, but they may even have a global impact, which is amazing because this stuff's happening right in our backyard and we can support it, right? We don't have to go way off to somewhere else. We can do that. Some of the people that are trying to get here, in other words, are going to come here and hang out and that kind of thing. So we talked about that and kind of gave a little bit of a preview of what's going to come down the pipe this year. We don't want to tell you all the names because honestly, we don't want our people plucked. I'm just being real. Like, we want those people to come on and be original and to have their story shared, and we want to introduce them to you. We want to have that privilege of introducing them to you and to let them kind of share their story. So we want to be the first one to bring some of these people to you, honestly, in our area, and we're excited about that. We've been blessed to make the friendships, and now we want to see it come to fruition. So we got that coming up. You know, telling you ways you can kind of get back and plugged in, man. What are we missing as we kind of get ready to wrap this up and kind of move into season 2, man?
I just want to say I appreciate everybody. And, you know, Cory's the brains. I've said this from day one.
We're in trouble.
Cory is the brains behind this operation.
No.
And this is really a job for Cory. I just get to sit here and be another pretty face that y'all never get to see. Thank goodness.
We both got faces for radio.
But yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no TV here. But we've got a YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Cory
sure.
does.
Well,
So
he's on it.
unfortunately, y'all get to see us from
That's
time
right.
to time. That's where Mako's a star.
That's right.
But no, big thanks to Cory. He is really killing this. I mean, it's almost turned into a job. A lot of behind the scenes stuff that you would never even think. Big thanks to you guys for listening, for the viewership, and I mean the impressions. I mean, insane numbers. And looking forward to season 2. Looking forward to doing the same thing. I mean, highlighting small businesses and local people, and getting on the water, catching fish, talking fishing. I mean, I can't think of anything better, talking fishing.
Me either, man.
Other than being fishing.
That's it.
But a lot of times being fishing leads to talking to fishing, and here we are for season 2.
That's it, man. So, like Gaston said, thank you guys so much for coming along, for listening, for tuning in. I want to encourage you, like I said, after this drops the next day, so this will drop on Sunday night. On Monday, head over to Blind Hog Adventures on the Instagram page. On there, you're going to need to like it, you're going to need to share it, and you're also going to need to follow my page and Gaston's page, okay? So that's going to be Blind Hog Adventures Instagram and Gaston's Instagram. So give them
Captain CAPT Gaston King.
Okay, so you're going to see that, and that'll be in there in the description, but you're going to need to do those things, and there will be a picture of the prize pack, and when I tell you it's a sweet prize pack, it's a sweet prize pack. I mean, it's about a $260 prize pack that we have purchased part of it, and part of it has been donated. So once again, thank you to our sponsors that has helped cover part of that to give to you guys. So not everything comes to us, right? This is basically the reason the sponsors came on and said, we'll help you, is so we can give back to you guys. And that's what it's always going to be about. It's always going to be about giving back to veterans, to kids, to you guys, to teaching, to our community. That's the whole purpose of it. This is basically a non-for-profit that's not a non-for-profit. We are literally just trying to give back, and we can't say thank you enough. So if you will, when you listen, when you see it posted, please share it. Please give a thumbs up. Please give a review if you like it. And if you don't, you can be honest. That's fine too. But what that does, and you say, oh, you're just trying to get likes and numbers. No, that's not what it does. What it does is it carries us higher up the algorithm. It also shows people when that we get the listeners, but we may not always have the follows and or whatever. And so with that, when you tell people things, unless you show them the behind the scenes pictures, it looks like there aren't that many there. You may go there right now and say, wait, you guys don't have but 1,500 followers. Like, what are you talking? You can't get them kind of numbers. Well, you can, because you can view it and you can watch it without, and you can listen without following, without liking, and that's what's happening. But so if you guys would just take just a minute, please, to like it, to share it, whatever, to give a comment, whatever you will, to review it. It's going to start to match out, and as it starts to match out, we can give back more. We can get more people involved, more companies involved that'll come alongside that we can give back to you guys, to give discounts, to do all those kind of things. That's our whole goal. That's the whole goal with this, is to give back. So if you would assist us with this, we would be greatly appreciative to you. Like I said, it's not to benefit us, it's to benefit all of our whole community in our area. So we would greatly appreciate it, okay? But as we get ready to wrap up, man, I think for our first one, we're sitting, right here about 45, 50 minutes. They're probably tired of hearing us yap for now. And we'll get some good people coming on. I think so. But we'll get some good people coming on to give you guys some great information. Next month, we're going to start off our heavy hitter series with a pretty big heavy hitter. And so come on in, listen back. You're going to get to hear some amazing stories, how God's been at work, how these dudes have put in some amazing work behind the scenes, and how now an Eastern North Carolina company is hitting on the global stage. But it's going to be pretty cool, and see some stuff that's going to drop. There's going to be some giveaways given by that company and those guys. And so I know you don't want to miss it. So make sure you come back. We're going to try to drop it always around the very first of the month. So around that first is always my goal. It may be on the second, but my goal is to always drop it on the first. So come on back, check us out, like, subscribe, share it. And you can do that, like I said, right here on any podcast platform, also on YouTube. But you can do that and we'll be found. So from Cory Furlow
and Gaston King,
we want to say thank you. God bless you. Take care, and we'll see you on the water.
There's nothing finer to me than to be on the water when that sun comes peeking in under that Carolina sky in the Lord's creation, ripping some lips on my favorite waters, taking blind hog adventures with some of my best buddies.